Last week as we closed out the March season of SmashDown, it came down to Patriot taking on Madusa in the final round. Madusa went home with the flag, and the Patriot went home with the overall points championship. Both those trucks return here tonight to kick off the April season with 14 brand new trucks and drivers. It's anybody's ball game. Will Madusa hang on to the flag here tonight? We will find out next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the April season kickoff for SmashDown. 16 of the best Diecast Monster Trucks and drivers are here ready to throw it down one more time for the April season. Madusa comes in as the current flag holder. 15 other trucks and drivers are trying to dethrone the champion early on in round one to try to avoid having as many points as possible go to the Madusa team, but they're going to be throwing it down here tonight in the brand new season kickoff. A lot of mixture of veterans taking on rookies. It's going to be a season like we've never seen before, and we're going to see if Madusa can hang on to the flag going into round one competition. And looking at how round one will shake down, Prowler's going to take on Spider-Man. U.S. Air Force Afterburner's going to take on Traxxas T-Max. Midnight Rider is taking on Destroyer. Then we're going to see the return of Flashfire taking on Iron Outlaw. Closing out round one, Firestone Bigfoot's going to take on Madusa and try to dethrone the champion early on here tonight. Now as we get round one kicked off, newcomer to the scene, Jonathan Resendez taking over the driving duties of the Prowler machine, the Chevrolet powered truck out of Brentwood, Tennessee. He is now taking on Chase Moyse, who's been out here before. Spider-Man, always ready to throw down. He is now staged on the outside lane. Who will advance on, kicking off the April season? Both trucks staged, ready to go. Spider-Man takes on Prowler. Green light goes down now, and it's an early lead to Prowler. Spider-Man right there with him on the last of the car. And the new kid on the block, Jonathan Resendez. The Prowler machine takes out Spider-Man early on tonight in round one competition. Spider-Man on the trailer. Next up in round one competition, we've got the return of Nathaniel Wiggins. Traxxas T-Max, he burst onto the scene, taking home a Thursday Night Thunder championship. He will now draw up MTA veteran, the Iceman, Jeffrey Skipper. U.S. Air Force Afterburner, he won this event just a couple of weeks ago. He is back in action on SmashDown, trying to put Air Force on the top of the mountain once again. Green light goes down now and off the line. T-Max got a hold shot. Air Force trying to come back on him and does. The Iceman pulls it out over the last set of cars. He puts down the horsepower and he puts Traxxas T-Max on the trailer early tonight in round one. A good run nonetheless, had a lead on him from the start, but Air Force came back on him. Next up in round one, Joseph Nelson has been nothing but impressive in his brand new Destroyer machine, the truck out of Columbus, Michigan, now ready to take on Justin Lamb, a veteran returning in Midnight Rider. He's trying to find his way back to the winner's circle, but ladies and gentlemen, Destroyer has been nothing but impressive since its debut. Who's going to round two? Midnight Rider and Destroyer. Green light goes down, now Destroyer with a hold shot on him up and over no man's land. Up big time here, and Joseph Nelson trying to shut it down before tagging the wall. What a race it was. Midnight Rider tried to come back on him, didn't have enough, and Destroyer moves on into round two. Next up in round one, this kid took Monster Mania by storm. He made it to the finals. Roland Cantwell, Iron Outlaw out of Tonganoxie, Kansas. He now takes on another guy who took out Monster Mania by storm. Had a good showing. Wyatt Anderson. Flashfire, the Chevy Astro van on the inside lane. Ford versus Chevrolet. These kids want it bad. Who's taking it all the way to round two? Both trucks stage ready to go. Green light goes down, they're even off the start, down the straight, turn slightly to Iron Outlaw. He's had a break, turns it over. And Wyatt Anderson and Flashfire will pick up the round one win. We are going to go down now to our MTA replay, trying to figure out what happened to Roland Cantwell and Iron Outlaw in the far lane. As we go back to the replay right here, they were pretty much even off the start. Watch the slight lead to Iron Outlaw in the far lane as they go over no man's land. He knows the truck over, trying to gather it up, put it on two wheels into the van stack in the center of the track, turning the truck over. Wyatt Anderson and Flashfire advances on into round two. Next up in round one, Aaron Church, the MTA veteran in his own right. Bakugan Draft Dragonoid, always a top contender out here. He will now take on the Cowboy from Hell, Timothy Cantwell and Bounty Hunter, the Ford out of Tonganoxie, Kansas, ready to go. Two veterans going to be throwing it down here tonight to kick off the April season of SmashDown. Who's going to round two? Green light comes down now, and Dragonoid got him up the line. Bounty Hunter trying to come back on him, get that in shape, rolls it over. Dragonoid will move on in the round two competition. A tough break for the Cowboy from Hell. He tried to gather it up in no man's land, shot towards the van stack, much like Iron Outlaw. Going back right here, Dragonoid did pull the whole shot on him. Aaron Church trying to hold down the lead. Watch Bounty Hunter in the far lane. Goes up and over no man's land, side slaps it right there, shoots to the van stack, had nowhere to go but upside down. So Dragonoid and Aaron Church move on in a round two competition. Next up in round one, ladies and gentlemen, Chase Locke making his SmashDown debut, the Chevrolet out of Wadsboro, North Carolina. Carolina Crusher coming to the line. He will now take on Logan Waller, Big Kahuna. The crew's got a fresh body on that truck. He rolled it over during the March season of Thursday Night Thunder. He's back now on SmashDown. Can he take out the Chevrolet out of North Carolina? Who's going to round two? Green light goes down off the line. They go. They're pretty much even down to the first jump, up and over no man's land, and they almost make contact in the shutdown area. Matter of fact, they do. Both drivers are shooting for this first round win. Big Kahuna and Carolina Crusher. As we go back to our MTA photo finish, your winner in round one, Logan Waller, Big Kahuna, taking out Carolina Crusher. What a matchup it was. Both trucks letting it all hang out. Next up in round one, the MTA veteran in his own right, James Vaillancourt, the UFO Ford out of Cinnaminson, New Jersey, back after a long time on the bench. He is now taking on last month's overall points champion, Starvin' Corey Marvin, behind the wheel of the brand new Patriot, who will take the win here in round one. A battle of the Ford Oval, and ladies and gentlemen, both trucks ready to go. Here's the green light down the straight. Patriot with an early lead. UFO coming back on it with some air. James Vaillancourt laid it on the line. Tries to shut it down before getting into the wall. What a matchup it was. I do believe Vaillancourt came from behind and took away the win. As we go back to our photo finish, your winner, James Vaillancourt, UFO, moving on in a round two competition. What a great race it was. And now it's time to defend the SmashDown Championship flag. Raylan Mullins flipped over SmashDown last week in the final round. She knocked off the Patriot, claiming her first SmashDown Championship. She will now take on the veteran, Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot, the Ford out of Pacific, Missouri, taking on the Ford out of Orlando, Florida. Championship flag on the line. Here's the green light down the straight. They're dead even to the first jump. Big time there by Bigfoot. Madusa goes over in the shutdown area. What a race here. Mitch Brown and Bigfoot putting it down. Same with Raylan Mullins and Madusa out of the far lane. Not sure who got the win. Let's go back to our MTA replay, ladies and gentlemen. Off the line, both drivers cut a great light, maybe a slight lead to Bigfoot on the inside lane. Watch the air here by Mitch Brown over no man's land. Madusa putting down the 4 horsepower. Hits the bus stack and right there by inches. Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot dethroned the champion early tonight in round one. A tough break for Raylan Mullins and Madusa, turning it over. What an incredible matchup, ladies and gentlemen. We still got a lot more great racing still to come. Bigfoot just knocked off the champion, so it's anybody's game here tonight. Who's going to have enough to hang on after round two competition? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out after the break next. What's going on, MTA fans? If you're looking to get in on the action right here on the MTA YouTube channel, look no further. I'm about to tell you guys just how you can sign up to get in one of these races. Head over to the link in our description, and that's going to take you right over to our Facebook page where we hold registration for all of the MTA events. And hey, while you're there, crush that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you stay up to date with everything that MTA is doing. From new custom truck builds to special events and giveaways, you don't want to miss any of the great action MTA has to offer. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll catch you guys down the road. Welcome back to SmashDown, ladies and gentlemen. As we get round two action kicked off for the April season, we're going to see Prowler take on Afterburner. In the lower half of the bracket, Destroyer is going to take on Flashfire. Then Dragonoid is going to take on Big Kahuna. And then two veterans going to throw it down. UFO taking on Bigfoot. Up first in round two competition, new kid on the block, Jonathan Resendez out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Prowler coming to the line, ready to take on the Iceman, Jeffrey Skipper. U.S. Air Force Afterburner looked wicked fast in round one. He's trying to dethrone that rookie over there in the far lane and show him who's boss on SmashDown. Who takes it in the semifinals? Prowler taking on Afterburner. Green light goes down. Prowler got him on the line. Air Force coming back now over no man's land. It's close. What a race it was. The kid wasn't letting up in that far lane. But Jeffrey Skipper, U.S. Air Force Afterburner, picks up the win here in round two. A great race nonetheless. Moving right along with round two competition coming to the line. Joseph Nelson, we talked about him earlier. The kid is hungry for his first victory. Destroyer's running strong here tonight. So is Wyatt Anderson, the Chevy Astro van known as Flashfire, ready to go in the far lane. A Ford versus Chevrolet shootout here in round two. One truck's going on the trailer, the other one's going to semifinals. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the green light now. Ford and Chevrolet down the straight rest. They're dead even down to the first jump over no man's land. And the Destroyer turns it over in the shutdown area. Joseph Nelson knew he had his hands full that entire race. He knew Wyatt Anderson wasn't going to cut him any slack. Going down to our MTA replay. Right here off the jump, they cut a great light. They're dead even down that straight stretch. Maybe a slight lead here going into the first jump out of Destroyer. Up and over no man's land. He pogos it hard on the rear end. Tries to gather it up and turn the truck over. Their crew's going to be thrashing to get Destroyer back for semifinal competition. Next up in round two action, however, Aaron Church returns. Baku God Dragonoid's looking strong here tonight. He will now take on Logan Wallard. Big Kahuna, after a couple of rollovers in the March season of Thursday Night Thunder, he is now back on SmashDown, ready to do battle against Dragonoid, ready to go on the outside lane. Who will take it in the semifinal competition? Big Kahuna taking on Dragonoid. Here's the green light down the straight stretch. They go Dragonoid with a slight lead. Big Kahuna's coming back on him, and Dragonoid turns it over Aaron Church into the wall, turns it upside down. Big Kahuna was right there with him the entire time. Let's go down to our MTA photo finish to confirm a winner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Aaron Church and Dragonoid by inches, taking out Big Kahuna in round two. Next up to close out round two, it's a battle of the veterans. Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot taking on James Valancourt UFO, a Ford Oval shootout. Two veterans going to be throwing it down. They've been rivals for years. The Ford in the far lane out of Cinnaminson, New Jersey. The Ford on the inside lane out of Pacific, Missouri. Who's taking it to semifinals, ladies and gentlemen? Green light goes down. Two veterans throwing it down. They're even down to the first jump, up and over no man's land. It was anybody's race there. Both drivers letting it hang out all the way down into the shutdown area. Neither one wanted to cut anyone a break, ladies and gentlemen, as we go back down to our MTA photo finish. What a great race. Who got the win? Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot takes out UFO here in round two. And ladies and gentlemen, 4 trucks remain. We started with 16. Semi-final action coming at you. The Iceman, Jeffrey Skipper, Air Force Afterburner is going to be taking on Joseph Nelson and Destroyer. And on the other side of the bracket, Aaron Church and Dragonoid will be taking on Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot. And ladies and gentlemen, 4 trucks remain. Again, we started with 16 as we kick off semifinals. This kid is hungry. Joseph Nelson returns the Ford out of Michigan. Destroyer coming to the line. He will now take on the Iceman, Jeffrey Skipper, U.S. Air Force Afterburner. Took home a win a couple of weeks ago right here on SmashDown. He's trying to do it again here tonight. He knows he's got to knock out Nelson and Destroyer out of that far lane. Boat truck stage. Green light goes down now, and Destroyer got the whole shot down the straight stretch. Afterburner's out of shape, trying to come back. It's close, but Destroyer pulled it out in the end. He will knock out the Iceman here in semifinals. Destroyer, the Ford out of Michigan, is in the finals here to kick off the April season of SmashDown. What an incredible matchup as we take another look at the race here. Watch Skipper on the inside lane. He knows he's in trouble trying to play catch up, putting down the horsepower. Watch him get kicked out of shape over no man's land. Almost gathered it all back up, and he came up just short of Joseph Nelson and Destroyer. So now we know Destroyer's in the finals. Who is he going to meet there? It's going to be one of these MTA veterans. Aaron Church, back to the God Dragonoid, coming back to the line to take on Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot. He dethroned Madusa, the champion, early tonight in round one. He's trying to take it all the way here tonight. He knows Aaron Church ain't no slouch. He's going to run him all the way down to the end. Boat truck stage now. Green light goes down and off the line. They go Bigfoot with a whole shot. Dragonoid coming back on him. Dragonoid in trouble, and Bigfoot pulls it out in the end, and it's going to be Mitch Brown taking on Joseph Nelson in the finals. Bigfoot versus Destroyer. Not sure what happened to Aaron Church. Some problems through no man's land. didn't come up with it here tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, it's what we all come to see. It's final time to kick off the April season of SmashDown. Two Fords are going to be throwing it down, Bigfoot and Destroyer. And ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Nelson, again, has been nothing but spectacular since debuting that brand new Destroyer machine. And everybody knows Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot, the former 8-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, the big bad Ford out of Pacific, Missouri. He's trying to gather up his first SmashDown championship. Who will take it all the way? The Fords are throwing it down. Ladies and gentlemen, Destroyer taking on Bigfoot. It's showtime here on SmashDown. Down the straight stretch, they're dead even down to the first jump over the car. Destroyer rolls it over, and Mitch Brown gets his first SmashDown championship. And Bigfoot, ladies and gentlemen, what a showdown. Joseph Nelson had problems coming out of no man's land. As we go back and take another look, both drivers got a great light from the whole shot. Down the straight stretch to go. They are virtually dead even to the first jump. Watch your far lane. Joseph Nelson, the Destroyer, gets kicked out of shape. Hard landing on the left front tire. Looks like he blew out a shock and the truck rolled over. And Mitch Brown and Bigfoot laid down a quick time pass. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot on your first SmashDown championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we take a look at the overall point standings closing out week 1 of the April season, in the lower half of the bracket, Iron Outlaw, Midnight Rider, Traxxas, T-Max, and Spider-Man holding down the lower half of the bracket with just 30 points. They're going to have to get their stuff together by next week to try to make an attempt at the overall points chase. Now at the top half of the bracket with tonight's win, Downtown Mitch Brown and Bigfoot currently leads the overall points chase with 60 points and holds on to the SmashDown flag. But Joseph Nelson in second place in Destroyer is going to be a top threat all season long. Rounding out your top 3, MTA veteran Aaron Church and Dragonoid with 45 points. So we got a lot of great drivers shooting to beat SmashDown champion all season long. Will the Bigfoot team be able to hold on to the flag after next week? We'll find out then. But thank you guys for coming out and watching the April season kickoff of SmashDown. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and we'll catch you down the road. See you next week.